Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I will make a custom gaming PC that either matches or beats the Sony PlayStation 5 at its current price point. In addition to this, I will try to find the most identical processor and graphics card that the Sony PlayStation 5 has to make this challenge a little bit more interesting. Also, I will try to get some very unique aesthetics under the 600 euro price point. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Starting with our motherboard, we have a Gigabyte A520M S2H. This motherboard is pretty feature packed, it's pretty sleek in design as well, and it is very good for the price. Only 56 euros I paid for this brand new. Onto the PlayStation 5's CPU of choice, I have picked the Ryzen 7 3700X. This is the rough equivalent Zen 2 8-core 16th thread chip. I picked it up for 78 euros. Moving on to the most important part of the system will be the graphics card. Now this is a Radeon RX 6700 XT. I picked this up used for 216 euros. It is a pretty massive card, and it has 12 gigs of VRAM, which is the exact same of a PS5 GPU. However, it is a bit too fast actually, because the PS5 graphics card is roughly around RTX 3060 Ti or RX 6600 XT. Those are like 5 to 10% slower. For our CPU cooler, I picked up this 20 euro AG4100 from Deepcool. It is nice and sleek. For the power supply, I picked up this pretty plain and simple 750 watt unit. It has two separate PCIe cables that I need, and it was only 44 euros brand new. Also picked up this brand new case fan that I needed for my case because it doesn't have a rear exhaust fan. I picked this up for 11 euros. This is a 2x8 16GB kit. It is what Ryzen prefers in terms of speed, 3200 megahertz, and it was, I think, 52 euros. And here is the final build. As you can see, everything works. I posted first try. I didn't get a SSD footage, but it's just a 1TB SATA SSD, which is plenty. And the RGB is only this yellow color until you get into Windows, and everything else works great. So let's go over to some benchmarks. Here in Rainbow Six Siege, we are getting close to 200 frames. 190, 210, it differs from time to time on the core benchmark in Rainbow Six Siege. It's one of my favorite games at the moment, so I'm glad to see this type of performance, because on console you really locked at 120. This is on 1080p low settings, I think, the lowest settings, so there is some headroom in terms of graphics because we are a bit bottlenecked. The game still looks great regardless, but the resolution looks off compared to the rest of this video. And like I said, there's a tiny bottleneck here, but there is no major stuttering. There's nothing crazy going on. It's really stable, which is what we like to see. So I'm glad we can nearly double the frame rate because of Sony's limitations here. And we could possibly increase the resolution to 1440p and still get a high refresh rate experience. Like I said, this is a really good competitive experience, but if you want more frames, you would need a Zen 3 chip, so Ryzen 5 5600 minimum. Those cost 50 bucks more. As we finish the benchmark, you can see our temps are great too. Look at those temps, man, those are jolly temps. And when we load the benchmark here, average frame rate 205, so if you have a 165 Hz monitor, you could lock it to that. And our max frame rate was 220 something, and our minimum, I can't really read, 179, I think. So yeah, here we are in Final Fantasy 16. We are in the first area of the game, the first settlement area, and our frame rate is looking pretty good because on a console, even though this runs technically at a higher resolution when you're out of combat, the frame rate was terrible. You could often see like 30, like I'm not even kidding, on performance mode, 40, like it's usually like 45 because it's 1440p, and on PC I just set it to native 1080p. So the performance on console is pretty bad until you get into combat. Then it uses like resolution scaling, so it uses like a terrible version of FSR, like the first version of FSR, and then it just like when you're in combat on console, you can see Clive's face become all fuzzy because of like the resolution scaling, and when you're out of combat, it looks sharp again. So I don't even know exactly what resolution it goes down to on console. I think it's lower than 720p if I'm being honest, and it still cannot maintain a 60 frames per second at all times, even in this training arena. And you can see right here, we are like 80 frames, sometimes even like low 90s, which is incredible. So like I said, if we just use 1440p and then we, you know, pick up or when this card does get FSR 4, this card gets FSR 4 in Q1 of 2027, which is gonna look amazing. Even if you don't get that big of a performance uplift, it will look so much better than it does right now. It would look near identical. I'm telling you guys, these new techs are becoming crazy, man. So like I said, this is just training and it doesn't drop from 60. I do see a little bit of stuttering, but I think it was just shader compilation. So let's go see the open world of this game, and then let's see what our frame rates drop to. Here we are in a little bit less open world, but still, this is the only save I had at the moment, because I think something with my mods on my own PC and Steam doesn't translate, etc, etc. So right here, I am just doing this set piece, and as you can see, our frame rate does drop when Garuda comes close in, but we still get our average, which is pretty similar to what we saw in the training arena. I do notice a stutter here and there, but it's not the end of the world. I think if you just lock the FPS to 60, it would just be flat 60, and it might be something with the shaders as well. So like I said, a really good experience right here. It's going to be a smooth experience, especially if you play on a controller or if you come from controller from a console. So we will go on to our final game of choice, which will be Cyberpunk, and I will see you guys there. And for our last benchmark of today, we have Cyberpunk 2077. It's looking absolutely phenomenal at 1440p. This is using the high settings preset, but I just turned off motion blur, vignettes, the chromatic aberration. So all of that is turned off, but we are using high preset 1440p, and you know, the console version uses an upscaled version of 1440p, I believe, or 1800p, but it renders like it tries to hit 60 FPS, and I think it does most of the time. But that's not native, that's upscaled, so it's possibly lower resolution than this. And yeah, like I said, man, this is looking absolutely beautiful. If you want to see more videos like this, just drop a comment. And I know this is not the highest quality of stuff I post, but I just felt like, you know, screw it, like we might as well just try something new on this channel. And yeah, I've enjoyed every single thing so far. The editing is not like my usual level because I still don't understand this software like DaVinci Resolve. It's so weird to me. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. We can see the average frame rate 62, which is very acceptable for this game. And you can see all the hardware, and you can see our settings right here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.